Greetings to all of my listeners. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Self-Love Witch podcast. I hope you all are enjoying your day today. I know the energy right now with this full moon, it has actually had a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people who have been, talking about how heavy they've been feeling. It's kind of like been on two spectrums. Some people have been inspired and some people have either been literally inspired or just feeling very heavy in spirit. Myself, on one hand, I have been going through this whole self-isolation, spiritual isolation period. And, I've been feeling, I guess, more so on the heavy side lately. I don't know if you guys know, but it was 100% full moon last night. And the energy was so powerful and you could feel it. And the moon was just shining crazy bright, and the energy was so strong. But for me, I was feeling very heavy because I was feeling like there were things that I needed to release that I didn't know how to put a name on. It was the weirdest thing ever. And as I always know on Instagram, and I was scrolling through people's stories, I was seeing that a lot of people were feeling the same way, like feeling this burst of energy to just all of a sudden want to clean house, want to clear your slate, want to completely create something new, but realizing it's going to begin with completely eradicating or killing these old thought patterns and old ways of doing things. So I myself have been working on that and, just really marinating in the energy of what I've been feeling. I've been feeling like I've been needing to take a break from things that don't come from my heart. I feel like we do a lot of things that come from a place of hustle. We do a lot of things that come from a place of worry. We do things out of a place of scarcity or fear, or personal gain. I'm focusing on doing things that purely fuel my bliss and fuel my joy and fuel my peace. The energy that I've been marinating in also has just been to completely prioritize my self-love and my self-care journey. It's this whole journey of self-care, self-love. It's something that doesn't end. Because as we age and we go through these different situations, we are hit with different experiences. We're learning different things. We're in new experiences, this, that, and the third. And then we're learning new ways of coping with things. And then we're also going through different things that we've never experienced before. So it's like you're having to learn to love yourself and learn to love the new things you've discovered about yourself. And, when you're in the midst of healing, like myself, and you're, trying to disconnect from, past wounds, past traumas that have literally bombarded your mental and your way of thinking, your way of perceiving situations. And, if you suffer from anxiety or, any post-traumatic stress like myself, you understand how important prioritizing self-care is, because not only are you having to evolve and learn to heal past the situation, you're also having to learn how to cope at the same time. So you're constantly having to remind yourself you are worth it. You're constantly having to remind yourself, you are worth the effort. The situation is not always, if I need the time, I need the time. Just having to honor your flow. That's been huge for me. It's been pivotal for me. I have made sure I've made it my business to not feel the need to explain to anyone what is going on in my head or what I feel is the best route for me or how I'm moving. Because, it's not for anyone else to understand, contrary to popular belief. Your journey, if you want to share that with others, like I choose to do myself, you can share whatever you want to share. And people can react or people can say whatever they want to say. However, people will never get the full scope and the full idea of your specific journey. Therefore, your whole, reasoning and the energy behind it and the passion behind it needs to be all purely from yourself, because at the end of the day, you're having to put forth the work. You're having to put forth the effort. You're having to deal with your trauma. You're having to deal with, your anger, the things you're holding on to. You're having to deal with releasing. And, this full moon energy has just really been shedding a lot of light on what is my specific self-love journey that I need to take. Because, I've done things a certain way, but as life has progressed, I've learned new things about myself that require me to move in a different way when it comes to, implementing, my rituals and implementing, making sure my happiness and my bliss is at the forefront of my life and making sure I create my own heaven on earth. And so for me, the whole concept of releasing has just been huge. Releasing, prioritizing my self-care, not feeling the need to explain, and, just feeling real at peace and full with myself. This full moon, I think that's also a good concept to think about when we talk about full moons is, what are we releasing in order to feel full, like the moon, And then, when the new moon comes, it's like, what do I need to welcome in, to remain, light-spirited, to remain, fresh within my spirit. Because I feel like a lot of us are holding on to things that we don't really know how to pinpoint or how to name it. I have this book that I actually want to recommend to you guys. It's called Spirit Healing, How to Make Your Life Work. It's by Mary Dean Atwood. And I've been reading it for the past couple of days. And it's all about, Native American tradition and ways of healing and, spiritual healing and looking at the whole holistic way of healing oneself. And I was on this page where it was talking about the power of thought and how when you want to change your life, the most important thing to change is the way you think, because your thoughts are prayers in a sense. Just because you don't speak them out loud, your thoughts carry vibrations. Your thoughts become your actions. And, when your thoughts are not aligned with, those things that you're wanting for yourself, peace, love, healing, renewal, the negative vibrations tend to be very intense, which then creates, a lot of depression, creates a lot of, low frequency behavior that, us as witches, I feel that, and I just feel that we have to be very precise with our thoughts. We as witches know the very power of our words and of our rituals and of our energy. But, sometimes I think we forget that power and that energy does not end at the altar. It does not end with your rituals. That is a continuous, everyday thing. You literally have to make this a lifestyle. The sacredness, the intention that we put into our rituals, we need to make sure that we're putting this intention and this energy into our everyday lives. When we go to sleep, when we rise, everything needs to be intentional and sacred, because we are sacred beings. We are very, very sacred beings. And learning to release, and at the same time learning to cope with the method and the process of releasing, while also being able to receive, is not an easy process. It's not an easy process, but we're doing this together. We're healing together. And I just want to say, if you're feeling heavy, what I recommend doing, which is what I'm doing myself, eat lighter foods. I've noticed when you feel your spirit is heavy, if you feel your mental is heavy, it's always best to eat lighter foods. Eat foods, colorful foods, foods with, a great life frequency. Eat more fruits, eat more vegetables. I'm not vegan myself. I don't really eat too much meat except for chicken and fish, but I'm actually working on just eating the fish and being pescatarian with no dairy, but that's besides the point. The point is, just eat a healthy diet. But when you're feeling completely heavy, I would advise eat lighter foods. Drink some smoothies, drink some, juices that you make from your juicer. Drink 100% juice, drink more water, make you some tea, eat a bowl of fruit, eat a salad. Because when you're heavy and you eat light, I feel that it brings an equilibrium. It sort of grounds you, it brings the frequency up a bit, and it helps more ways than we know, because everything is energy. And, just by looking at my plants right now, I'm just looking at my plants, and it's just a great reference point. How, when a plant doesn't have any light, any sunlight, it dwindles away, and it becomes heavy. It lowers itself. But when it gets to the sunlight, it rises, and it moves itself towards the light. And that's basically me just saying, always strive every day, on your good days, on your bad days. Make it an everyday thing to strive towards being light in spirit. Being light in spirit. So, because you know what? We don't have to carry anything other than ourselves. And that's what I feel this full moon has really been emphasizing to people, is that you don't have to carry anything but yourself. Nothing but yourself. But for some reason, we believe that we are supposed to carry our worries and our traumas and our childhood issues, and we're supposed to carry our families on our backs, and we're supposed to carry the family issues, and we're supposed to carry, the notion that we need to be the first to do something in a family, or we need to, all this other stuff that literally has nothing to do with you. You get what I'm saying? So just make it your business to remain light and to only carry yourself, and only carry the parts of yourself that you feel are pivotal to your being. Because we're going to go through so many things in this lifetime. If they're going through all these things in our lifetime, we're going to constantly have to know how to release. See, the concept of release is not a one-time thing. And that's just something I truly want to emphasize. This entire process of healing, self-love, releasing, all of this is not a one-time thing. I'm sorry to break it to you. If you thought that it was a one-time thing that you need to overcome, you never have to work on it again, you're wrong. Just like every day we have to wake up again and again and again and again, you're going to come across experiences again and again and again, and then you're going to be required to learn what to release and what to keep. And you're going to be tested. If you don't release the proper things, you're going to be weighed down. So make sure you make it your business to constantly release and check, what am I carrying that does not serve me? What am I carrying that does not serve me? What am I carrying that does not serve my greatest good? And just make sure that they get out of your way. Don't be in your own way. Learn what to release and learn what to keep. And that's all for today, my loves. I hope you all enjoyed this podcast. I hope you all bask in this energy. This energy is quite triggering, but quite lovely in a sense, because it reminds you that you're human. It reminds me that I'm constantly a work in process, and just like the moon, I'm constantly having to go through my phases, and sometimes I'm going to have to restart again, but each time I'm different. Each time the moon phases and goes into a new phase, it's the same phase, but it's a different moon. So learn to honor your phase and honor your flow. And that is it for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Self-Love Witch podcast. Please follow me on Instagram, the Self-Love Witch podcast, where I will be doing more postings. We will be starting a book club soon. And I am so excited to see where this goes for us all. So thank you again, and have a lovely, lovely day.